Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Tableau related tutorial. So we have prepared this simple Tableau dashboard, and in the dashboard you can see this is a diabetes related data set, particularly useful for healthcare analysis projects. And in the data set you can see we have some interactive filters here. Let's select all of them so that we can see by default how the chart will look. So we have given some filters like family history of diabetes, dietary habits, whether they like to eat healthy diet, moderate or unhealthy diet, what type of diabetes do they have, and we have some clustered column charts, histograms here, and a stacked bar charts to help us understand different things. We will also learn how to create simple KPIs like this, where we are showing average BMI, average HbA1c, stress level, sleep hour, screen time, etc. All of this, how we will create different sheets and put them together in the dashboard, is something that we are going to learn, and how to format them. So let's get started with it. So let's do an overview of the diabetes in young adults in India dataset. This dataset contains 100,000 synthetic but realistic records reflecting the prevalence of diabetes and its contributing factors among young adults, that is ages between 15 to 25 in India. And as per the official link from where we have downloaded this data from Kaggle, this is the link. So it is designed to capture genetic predispositions, lifestyle habit, and key health metrics. It provides valuable insights into the onset of diabetes within the demographic. So here we have various demographic related columns like age, gender, region, and income group, genetic risk factors, lifestyle habits, health metrics. Here is the data set. So here we have ID. For every record we have a unique ID, age of the person, gender of the person, region. This is geographically a geographical data like north, northeast, central, to which region he or she belongs. Family income. This is family history. Now we have parent diabetes type. We also have genetic risk score, BMI, physical activity level, dietary habits, fast food, smoking, alcohol consumption, fasting blood sugar, HbA1c value, whenever the blood test was done, HbA1c value, cholesterol level, pre-diabetes, yes. So they have also given yes or no for pre-diabetes. Then diabetes type is also given like type 1, type 2, none. Sleeping hours, on an average, how much hours do they sleep? Their stress level uh, seems like it is measured out of 10. Their screen time, how much time are they spending in front of a screen? So we will be able to see if someone is spending too many hours on screen time. So will is that a factor for diabetes or being a diabetic patient? So some key insights that we can derive is risk factor analysis. So we can assess the role of genetic predispositions, example family history in diabetes onset. Evaluate how lifestyle factors such as BMI, diet, and physical activity influence diabetes risk. We also we can do diabetes prediction, develop predictive models to identify individuals at high risk for pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes. Health metrics correlation, analyze relationship between health indicators like fasting blood sugar, HbA1c, cholesterol, and diabetes type, and investigate the impact of stress, sleep patterns, and screen time on overall health outcomes. We can also analyze demographic trends, that is, explore regional variations in diabetes prevalence across India, study difference in diabetes onset based on gender and income groups, and behavioral insights like examine how fast food consumption, smoking, and alcohol use correlate with diabetes outcomes. And we can analyze the combined effects of physical activities and dietary habits on key health metrics. This particular dataset provides a rich resource for research and data-driven decision-making, enabling a deeper understanding of diabetes trends and prevention strategies among young adults in India. And this data set should only be used for research and educational purpose. For real analysis, you have to consider some real data set. This is just designed to capture the different trend analysis. So to begin analysis of the diabetes data set that we just discussed, we will take reference of our own dashboard that we developed in Power BI. So here we will do it in Tableau. We will simply open Tableau Public, and with the help of Tableau Desktop Public Edition, we will simply try to connect with the dataset first. Since the dataset is a CSV file, so we will use the text connector, and here we will connect the dataset and simply open it. Now you can see all the columns are loaded here. So ID, age, gender, region, family, income, family history, genetic risk score, BMI, fast food, smoking, etc. And the important variable to analyze is whether what type of diabetes do they have, whether they have or not. So in Tableau, we basically proceed with creating sheets first, and since there are a lot of variables here, we will, as I said, we will take reference from here. In Power BI, we can start creating visuals on the same page itself and create an interactive dashboard to put there itself. But here, first we create sheets and then we proceed with the dashboard. So the first sheet that we have to do is age distribution. So whenever you have to show distribution of data in Tableau, so first you take a numerical measure, that is for example age here, and drag it somewhere in row or column. It will automatically start showing age to you, like sum of it. When we have a single numerical value like age, so we already know that age has a range. So there in the data set we'll have people of different age groups. So in order to create that, you can see we have people from 18 to 21 and we have older people also, and this is for young adults, so it will be mostly in the range of 18 to 31, which we can see here as well. So how many people of different range are there? You just click show me and click on histogram. So this will automatically create this histogram for you and generate a age bin variable and add it to the dimensions. So here in measure, when you will drag age to rows or columns anywhere and choose the histogram plot which needs one measure, it will automatically add one bin to your dimensions. And Tableau automatically decides the age bin size. We can go to edit and you can see here age bin size is of 1.5 years. That means we have information for 14, 15, 15, 17 and so on. Let's say we want to make it 2 years, age bin of 2 years, 14 to 16, 16 to 18. So here you will be able to see how the data is distributed. Now we also have type of diabetes here, which is important variable. So this is diabetes type, and if you want to see how diabetes type in different age groups is distributed here, so what you can do, you can simply drag diabetes type to color, and this way you will be able to see that in most of the age groups the value of people not having diabetes are more, you can see. And if you want to show those numbers also, because this is count here. So because on a histogram on x-axis will display the continuous variable age, in this case the range, and in every group how many people are there, this will be on the y-axis. So we can bring count of age on label also. By pressing command or control you can drag it to label, and this way you will be able to show that number. And now we can simply rename this sheet as age distribution by diabetes type. Age distribution and diabetes type, whatever title you want to prefer. And we can select this title and make it bold, align it center, apply. These are the things that you can do easily even after analyzing the data and after putting everything together. So this is our first chart. This is how you can create this. Similarly, we have by gender and diabetes type. So here, as you can see, we have a bar chart, and here it is like a clustered column chart. So here, suppose we want to see number of people by gender and diabetes type. So there are multiple ways of doing this in Tableau. Let's try something simpler for beginners to understand. So what we are saying here is we have to analyze two categorical variables, which is gender and diabetes type, and we have to check them, like count them in terms of numbers. So count how many people of those different combinations are there. So first thing, we will simply drag gender, and we will simply drag diabetes type here. So we can drag these things, these two categorical variables, and then what Tableau already does is it generates a count automatically. It is count of rows, dynamic count of rows. So this column is not there, but it is created by Tableau. You can see a generated field. So here you can just add it there, and it will create a chart for you. It is a clustered column chart. And here we will simply swap rows and columns. So it will create something like this for us, and we can call it count of patients or count of records by gender and diabetes type. And we can apply the same type of styling here as well. So we can make it bold, align center, choose a color, apply. Okay. Now there you can see in every group none uh, people are more, like type 1, type 2. So type 2 diabetes are second, and type 1 is rarely there in every group. What we can do one more time is, because we have the count, so we can bring it to label to see those values. Now there is one important thing to remember here. This order depends a lot on what how you will see the values. For example, if we reorder them, then for every uh, diabetes type you will be able to see gender wise count of records here. And if the order is like this, then you will see female, male, and other. So you have to make it like this. So this way you can see here we have none, type 1 and type 2. And what we can do simply, we can bring the gender as a color here. So this way you will be able to see data in a more presentable way. So this is one thing. So our second clustered column chart is created. Third is how to create a pie chart, which is proportion of people by family history diabetes. So here, for example, we have family history diabetes. So first we have to go to data source to understand this. So Here you can see family history diabetes is either yes or no. So in sheet 3, what we are going to do, we will simply write family history here, and we will drag it to row or column anywhere, and you will see no or yes. Now next thing you have to bring is count of people. So we will simply bring count of people. It will start showing as no or yes, and then we can go show me and go to show me, and now pie chart will be available, and you can see this is prepared, and we can press Control plus Shift plus B, or Command plus Shift plus B, whatever you think is better, to see the data like this, right? And this is count of records by gender and diabetes type, and here we will rename this as family history diabetes, and it's either yes or no. How many of records do have yes and how many of them have no? Can apply and okay. If you want to add more detail here to this chart, so we can bring the family history diabetes to label here showing yes and no, and count of people to label showing those values also. So this is what we can see. And if you want to see three different pie charts, so we can add column or rows. For example, if you want to see diabetes type here, so we can bring into rows or columns to show three different pie charts here. So this is also we can do, but we just have to show family history diabetes, something like that here. And this is your dashboard. We can click on new dashboard. We can simply call it diabetes. In the dashboard here, what we can first do, because this is the width of dashboard currently, here is the size. So we have minimum size and maximum size. So we can increase the minimum width, and we will use this width size, and height is okay. Now we can start adding different elements here. The first element that we have to add is text representing what we are doing. So we will add a text box here, and for simplicity we are just calling it diabetes dataset dashboard, and let's use the size as 24 and align in center, and we can use the same color that we have been using so far. So this is our text box. Now what you can do, like you can see we have horizontal and vertical objects. Okay, these are like columns that we can create. So we will drag it here, and in this is going to create our first row where age distribution, gender, and these three charts are there. So you can see those three charts are available here as well. So we can again tell this is age distribution. We can drag another chart here just on this side, and family history chart on this side. So now we have this. Here in layout you will be able to see that we have tiled. In tiled we have this horizontal element, where another tile, and we have vertical element. Okay, so here you will be actually able to see those tiles, etc. So one thing that we can see here, like this is the text box. First let's change the position and alignment of text box, and here we have this horizontal element selected. Once this horizontal element is selected, right click on it, and you can see remove container, distribute contents evenly. This is important. When you will do that, you will see it will automatically distribute every content in 30%, 33% width of this entire thing, and this is important for us. We can select the sheet name, and here we can resize them to 10 I just want them to appear in one line. That's why I am doing it. So let's see, apply, and here also. Here it is not appearing in one line. So we will simply try to rename it. It is showing count of records. So we will say, you can also write hashtag record like representing number of records. And now you will be able to see that. So whatever changes we'll make there will will be represented here as well. And later we can decide if we want to keep these different legends or not, because this area is mostly used for filters. So now we have created this. Next up, you will be seeing different type of filters here, like diabetes type, dietary habit, family history, gender, pre-diabetes. So these filters are there. So go to any chart and add these things as filter, like diabetes type as filter, apply, okay, and just click here and click show filter. So you will be able to see that. Next, you can also go and so we can search for dietary habits, because it is important to understand, you know, if someone is eating healthy, whether that person is likely to have diabetes or not. So those type of things can be added here. We'll apply. So you can see here we are not applying any filter. We are just adding them to appear here. And we can also select this, and by default it shows multiple value list. We can also select single value slider or single value drop down list, wildcard match. It can be anything, right? So we will use a single value drop down for one of them, so that you can see the different type of filters that we can apply here. So we have these two filters here, and third is family history. So basically whatever charts we have created, we are using them because we have to understand what different parameters, like if they had family history, how many of them have diabetes now. So we can show as filter here also. So these things are now added as a filter. Okay, here you will be able to see that after adding those filters, they are not appearing here. So we can, what we can do, we can go here and we can say apply to all using related data source, all using this data source. So it will be applied here. Similarly, apply to all using this data source, and here also apply to all using this data source. Okay, so it will be applied, and in order to show it here, what we have to do, just remove this and add one more time, and it will be available here. Here we can keep these legends, but this is not necessary. So we have all of them. And since we applied to all sheets, let's try. So you can see when you will select any one of them, you will be able to see them changing. So let's get back to all. So you can decide the type of filter from its source, but here also, like if you just want to show it as a drop down list, you can show it like that. So that's your choice. And now we have three rows prepared and some filters added. Obviously the look is not exactly like what it was looking in Power BI, but we have different things. Now we have average BMI by risk score and diabetes type. So let's say we want to create another worksheet here. You will, when you have two numerical values, so for two numerical values we have to prepare a scatter plot. That is the best way to compare them. So here also we have, like for example, there is family income, and we with family income we have BMI. So we can create this type of relationship, like if family income is more, thus how it affects the BMI. Similarly, you can also use the genetic risk score and other type of parameters. So, like, or for example, what is the relationship between fasting blood sugar and HbA1c? And similarly, what is the distribution of cholesterol level or different type of patient records that we have, like how many of them are pre-diabetes, diabetic. So these type of things can be done. So let's do them one by one. Let's learn what is the purpose of a scatter plot. So let's say we have this continuous numerical variable and this one, fasting blood sugar and HbA1c, and we want to analyze it. So we will simply go to sheet and rename it as fasting blood sugar versus HbA1c. So these two parameters are mostly related to each other. Yes or no, we will check here. We will simply go to sheet name, select 10 pixel, apply bold. So we'll make it bold and just click here and align it to center. So we have this. Now, in order to create this, there will be some steps. You have to choose which one of them you want to put on x-axis, which one of them you want to put on y-axis. So because these are all measures, so we can select them from here. So fasting blood sugar, just keep one of them in columns and one of them in rows. So now we have it on x-axis. That means if we increase or if fasting blood sugar is increased, how it affects the HbA1c of that patient or that particular person. Here you can see it is just showing one scatter plot by default because summarization is on. So you can go to analysis tab and just disable aggregate measures. Now you will be able to see it for all the value. And you can see we are just seeing a square value here because the data set may not is a fabricated data set. So we have these values. And here let's say we want to see distribution of diabetes type, we can put them in color. So you can see most of them have none here. It is showing most of them have none. And that may be because some filter is applied somewhere. You can see diabetes type none. So let's select everything to all, back again, and now you will be able to see this. So here you can see we have the cases but very less, right? So that's why this particular analysis is of no use for us. So we have to change it. As per the data set, it is for no use, but actually in a real data set, this will be very helpful to analyze. And what we are going to do is, let's say we will do it this way, fasting blood sugar. Let's remove everything from here. So this is fasting blood sugar, and we will, first of all, we have to remove this as well. So we will add fasting blood sugar here, and in a new sheet I am trying it because summarization was disabled there. So now summarization is on. We will select this. So this is how you can see it is distributed. It has already created these bins for us, and in the bin we can see diabetes type here. Okay, so you can see here also, you can see most of the groups we have none, but in the fasting blood sugar bin range you will be able to see that ratio of where the ratio of none is higher, where the ratio of none is low. So we can simply go and rename it as distribution of fasting blood sugar, and we will simply adjust the spelling here, fasting blood sugar. and let's resize it as per our previous cases. If you want to add more details like in label etc., you can add them here. And now this sheet also will be available for us to add in the dashboard. We will add one more horizontal element here. So this will add another horizontal element, and before doing that we will take these filters outside of this horizontal element. So I will take these filters and legends here in this area, because we want both the elements to look of equal size, and when the filter is inside there, one will be full width and other will be half width. So now we'll select the horizontal element and we'll add another. So this way you will see that this sidebar is reserved for filters. And now here we can add the distribution of fasting blood sugar, so that we will be able to see uh, their performance, its analysis. And remember, we are keeping the same colors. So in this chart, everywhere it will display the same thing. So we can select this, right? For example, for female, no and none, we have the same color. Otherwise, we have different colors. So that we can do. Let's say for female, we want to choose a different color. So here we have colors and edit. Let's say for female, we want to select this color. Just giving an example. So it will be changed here. Okay. Or if you want any other color, you can select. So let's go to edit colors, and for female, let's say we want to select this dark color. So that will be better. So that is something you can make sure that in whatever graphs that particular color is appearing. So you can select different color. For example, male and yes have same color. So again, what we can do for male, let's do it. So for male, let's select this green color. Apply, okay. Okay. And this way you will be able to see. And similarly for other. So this palette now represent this, but this legend represent this particular chart, and we'll be able to analyze everything in different color. Now here, for example, for type 1, we are using orange color. So, and here also family history. So we will change the colors here as well. We can go to edit palette, and you can you know choose different settings from here. Let's say we select this set or something else. Yeah. So here for no, let's select this color. For yes, let's select this. Now we have completely different colors. Next, what we are trying to do is diabetes type by dietary habits. So in one chart we created this chart which is recommended horizontal bars, and we just made it into side by side bars. Yeah, so we can take another example here of stack bar. So for a stack bar, as you are seeing, you can use one or more dimension and one or more measure. And what we are trying to do here is we are trying to see diabetes type by dietary habits. So in order to do that, let's add these columns: diabetes type. We can also add dietary habits here. And what we can do, we can see count of people from here. And let's select this stack chart. So here you will automatically see, and obviously the color is representing the same thing, but here you can see healthy, moderate and unhealthy, and you will be able to see the ratio of type 1, type 2 and none in these cases. And what we can do, we can bring this count in label as well. So this is what we can do. And in label you can see alignments etc is given here. So if you want to change this, you can select it, and let's say you want to represent the number in a vertical way like this, right? So you can also represent it like this, gives a better readability. And this chart is simply diabetes type by dietary habits, or we can say diabetes type and dietary habits, count of records. So we have this. We will select sheet name, make it bold, select a color, align center, choose font size 10, which we are doing for every record. And now we'll go to our dashboard, and here we will add this one as well. Currently we have two of them, so obviously the ratio is different. Now let's say you want to uh, create some KPIs, or KPIs like this or cards like this. So just showing you how you can do that. Let's say we have parameters like screen time here. Okay, let's add a screen time here, and here you can see in it is showing sum of screen time. So we can also go and say average screen time, and we can select a text chart here. So this is basically the text, right, that we have to display. Now how can we change the properties of this? Because it's a text, so you can click here and you will see text, its alignment etc, everything is given here. We will click on these three dots, and here you can select it. And let's select 14 size here, bold font here. Let's say we select some color from our palette, let's say this one, just giving you example. So this is showing average screen time, and here we can write our own label, average screen time. Okay, for this label, if you want to give a different color, let's say we want to give a color like this, we can also do that. And this is alignment, so obviously we have aligned everything here in center. Let's say heading is something we want to choose as well, and font size is something we want to choose as heading 14, font size 12. So you can do the customizations from here, and from here we can align it to center, so everything will appear like this, and we will hide title. So now this kind of becomes like a card for us. For your cards, you can right click here and you can go to format. From here you can see fill. So in the worksheet you can fill some color, okay, which will appear as a background color here. So you can select any light color, whatever you prefer. This is just something that you want to show here. So these things can be done here, and in formatting you will find everything like font, what font to use. You can increase font size, color, etc. But we have done those settings from the field itself. Then you have format borders here. So like for cell we want to select some border, like let's say we want to select this border. Everything you can do from here. And let's say border color, we want to select this. You will be able to see a border like this. Let's say we want to select this border. If you want to show it as a card, right, so you can do something like this. And here you have pane, because this is sheet and pane header, for everything you can choose a different type of border. Okay, let's say we are applying this. So for pane also you can select something like that. So let's press control there. So let's say we are going with this. We don't have any row divider etc here. So that will be it. Rows, columns, you can explore these settings. This thing here is average screen time. So we are writing it as average screen time. Let's put it here. And similarly, we can duplicate it. Let's duplicate. And here, let's say we want to put average sleep hours. So this is a way to create this type of cards. Once you create one, and then you can duplicate it, and next thing that you have to do is just change this measure. So here we have average screen time. We can show average of sleep hours, and here in the text we will click on it and we will show average sleep hours. There is one more thing you can do. Like I searched clock icon font to copy. So here you will find clock icon that you can copy and you can put it here, and then you can select it and apply color. This is additional optional but something that you can do. And here for screen time, let's copy a different clock icon showing some other thing like this. So we can copy them, and we can, because these are font icons, so we can place them easily and select them and color them. So average screen time will kind of make your dashboards interesting. And now we want to bring those two here, so we'll close it. We have average sleep hours, we'll bring it here, and average screen time and average sleep hour. Now I want to show it just below it, which is kind of not possible at this moment. Let's try. So what if I get rid of it and add a vertical element here? And in the vertical element, let's drag average screen time and average sleep hours. So now I will be able to do that, right? And similarly, if I want, I can put something else here as well. And you can see it is still showing the title. I don't want to show the title. So this way we can add more cards here. Let's do that. Two more important variables that we analyzed earlier were average stress level and average HbA1c. So we can simply duplicate this and repeat it the same way. Let's say average stress level, and change it to and for stress level, let's use this font like, okay, rename it as average stress level, and let's duplicate one final time and use average HbA1c here. So in text, this is repetitive but something that we can do here. So sometimes when we copy paste, this is weird. And say HbA1c, we finally, so this is HbA1c, and now we can go to our dashboard and add these things here, like average stress level and average HbA1c. We'll hide the title and this will fit there. Okay, this is something we can click here and try to stretch. same here. So these are our KPIs. Obviously, you can represent them in different ways as you want to, but this way it will be helpful for everyone to understand this. And this is a simple dashboard that we have. Now we can click on it and you can see we have option to format the text object. We can see wrapping, alignment, everything you can adjust from here. So all these things you can do. If you want to apply some background colors here, like you can select these charts and then you can click here, and in the formatting option what you can do, so you can simply click here to go to sheet, and in the sheet you will find, when you will right click here and you go to format, so let's go to format here. Here you will see background and where you will find the color here. Or if you want to format individual elements like title, so you can click on format title. Here in shading, let's say we are going with this color here, and similar to this, let's say we select this and go to format, and here you will be able to see different type of shading like header, none, or something. So we will be able to format different elements like this, but that is totally optional. So what I'm going to do, I'm just formatting the titles here so that we can, you know, simply see some kind of boundary between that, row and our titles. So let me select it. Here we have selected 5%, and you can keep repeating this thing for different type of filters here, different type of charts here. So obviously the more time you will spend, you will find options like, let's say if I am going to format this, so you will be able to see different settings what you can apply here currently. Next thing is, if you want to apply a background, so to this particular dashboard you can select on the entire dashboard here, and you can go to layout, and you can see here we have options like border. So now let's see in the present view, we are seeing a border here. Let's escape this. You can increase border size and width. Here you can see the background is none, so we can select some kind of background here, right, or something else. So this is something that you can do. We can also select a dark background, and if you are selecting a dark background, then obviously you will be able to change the heading and other things so that we can view them properly. Here we have more colors which we can choose as a background. For example, let's say we are going with this one, so this is visible. Then we can go to this sheet, select it, and then select a light font for it so that we are able to see that. So these type of things can be done, and now you can see some kind of separation between these different charts. So this is something that you can do easily. And for these filters and legends, if you want to make these headings bigger or make them bold, so you can do it from here as well. So these type of things you can try and try to create a dashboard. So now this is a simple interactive dashboard that people can use. Obviously we can add more elements here, which we will do later. Like here we have added average BMI. So go ahead and try this type of chart and see how it is performing for you. And if you have any queries, you can ask them in the comment section below. We can now apply these filters and analyze the data accordingly.